We have Attorney Junefe Payot, an environmental planner, who is the Executive Vice President of the Social Housing Finance Corporation, the government agency mandated to implement affordable and inclusive housing programs. After graduating from the University of the Philippines College of Law, he worked at CISIP Law and later at the Office of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He also has a Master of Science in Poverty and Development degree from the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom and has been working in the areas of urban poverty and inequality, social housing, and urban development for 2 decades. He placed third in the National Board exam for environmental planners. It is my honor and privilege to welcome our last speaker, Attorney Junefe Payot. Attorney Payot?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to make this presentation because, as you know, we have revived and enhanced the community mortgage program. So now we call it the ECMP. So that's the good news. We have revived the community mortgage program because, as mentioned by ASIC Frank Gonzaga earlier, the secretary said that we need to have different modalities, okay, for different low-income groups who have different needs. So for the ECMP, okay, our target really are low-income groups. Low-income groups. Maybe some of you are already aware or were already aware of the CMP before, but now we have the enhanced CMP. It's the improved version. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so like I said, our mandate really is to provide housing for low-income communities, because we believe in the right to adequate housing, and we do this through inclusive, sustainable, and empowered communities. And what we provide really are affordable housing. Okay, considering that the target are low-income communities. So we really need to make it affordable while also being flexible. So we're giving them options, as you will see later. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we are one of the main implementers of the 4PHX, as mentioned by ASIC Frank earlier, and we do this again through our enhanced community mortgage program, or the ECMP. And you might also know that we have been involved previously in national programs of importance, especially those that involve very important infrastructure projects. We worked with the PNR, okay, on the North-South Commuter Railway Extension Project, which involved the relocation of several families. We also were involved in the Bangon Marawi project, and as well as the efforts to protect our heritage in the Intramuros, through the relocation of informal settlers there to more suitable housing areas in Rizal. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so why ECMP, or Enhanced Community Mortgage Program? Because we want our efforts to be transformative, so that we don't just provide physical housing, but we really transform the communities in terms of their multidimensional well-being. So not just the physical houses, but also their socio-economic well-being. We want to form communities that are strong enough to face future communal problems, especially now with the onslaught of climate change. There's bound to be communal problems that communities need to face as a community, not just as individual families, because a lot of these problems require communal efforts. Next slide, please. Okay, so the secretary revived the program. He directed the creation of a technical working group to examine the old guidelines. No, so we have done that. We have examined the old guidelines, and we have made some enhancements. No, that's the ECMP. On the part of SHFC, we have created a task force, no, which is chaired by yours truly, no, so that we can immediately thoroughly examine the proposed projects. There are 34 of them right now, 12 of which we have already approved. No, so that was really the task of the task force. No, so we before we elevate the projects to the CRECOM, we thoroughly vet them, and then we check, no, whether they are affordable. We check whether on top of lot acquisition, they also require site development and site upgrading. Okay, those things we check, no? And you will see later that one of the enhancements is the requirement that after lot acquisition, those who require site upgrading and site development will have to get a loan, no, for those, no? Next slide, please. Okay, so what are the key features? What are the enhancements na, in the ECMP? So we have, like I said, we have mandatory site upgrading in the case of on-site properties, and also site development, no, in the case of off-site projects. No? And I think this was mentioned earlier by ASIC Frank, no? The incremental housing approach. No? So some communities may not be able to right away, okay, proceed to site development or site upgrading. So we allow them to start with lot acquisition first, and then proceed to site upgrading or site development. And maybe, in fact, in the case of off-site communities, they can also proceed to house construction. No? But right now we are prioritizing on-site communities. No? These are our low-hanging fruits, and we have 34 projects in our pipeline. Like I said, 12 of which we have already approved, no, at the CRECOM level. No? And we have also expanded the coverage of the loan. No? Before, this was solely for lot acquisition. No? But now they can also use this loan to cover titling, okay, individualization, permits, no? Those things can be covered now by the loan that we will provide the communities. No? So this is in the amount of 400,000 pesos per family, no? Per family, per borrower. And there will also be provision of subsidy or grant. No? The secretary, during his visit to one of the proposed projects in Pasig, said that some of the site development can be subsidized through the escrow funds. And we also have favorable annual interest rates now of only 3% now. Okay, before it was 6%. Now it's only 3%. And finally, we have streamlined our processes. I think this is one of the questions, no? In the list that you sent me, and this will be discussed later. No? Okay, next slide, please. All right, so we have two main programs, the on-site program and our off-site resettlement program. No? For the on-site, we have lot acquisition. No? So this is really this is a cost-efficient option for those who are already staying in a property, no? Those who already have homes. No? The idea behind in situ programs is that we save, no? We're able to save the housing stock which they have already built over the years. So what these families really need, okay, what these on-site families really need is simply security of tenure, no? Security of land tenure, because most of them already have housing. But for those who might need to improve their homes, no, we are also very open to covering that, no, with our on-site lot acquisition loan. Okay. And that will be part of site upgrading. No? So we'll be providing access to loans for site upgrading of neighborhoods. Okay, a part of which can also be in the form of a grant, no? Depending on what the community can really afford. No? For off-site programs, again, we have lot acquisition. No? These are intended for families who currently live in high-risk areas, no? Dangerous areas, waterways, okay, those that are prone to erosion or landslide. So these families really have to be resettled, no? And this is why we have our off-site resettlement programs. And um, in the past, okay, we did not provide site development, but now we make it mandatory because from our own experience, no, those who acquired land, okay, supposedly for resettlement, ended up not moving into the newly acquired land which we funded, no, because of the lack of site development. And that's understandable, no? Because why would you move into a new property or a new area where there's no water, no electricity, no drainage, no? So those things we will now provide, no, site development. This will be included in the loan or maybe partly covered through a grant, no, from our escrow funds. And they can also avail of the full package, no, proceed to house construction if necessary. Again, this is the incremental approach. They can start with that acquisition and then incrementally improve, no, through site development and then house construction. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so the amount of loan is 400,000, and this covers not only the purchase price of the land, but like I said, it can also cover cost for registration, transfers, and individualization of titles. No, before, okay, again, I think one of your questions is as regards delays. No, some of the delays really are because of the permitting requirements, no, which the communities may not be able to afford. No, so now we will also cover those. And this loan of 400,000 per borrower will have an interest of 3%, no? Only 3%. Okay, and by the way, the loan term now is 30 years. Before it was 25 years, no? And now it's 30 years. So it's much longer. The idea behind this is that the longer the term is, they will be able to afford the monthly amortization. Okay, next slide, please. All right. So this is now our process flow. Now this is our streamlined process. Okay. Well, it starts with step one. No? CA submits the CMP loan application. And by the way, we have this big rectangular box at the leftmost portion, no? And this is you can look at this as step zero. Okay, so we want to make sure, no, that when they submit to us, everything is complete, no, and that they are properly organized. They're assisted by the LGUs or by the NGOs, and even by SHFC itself, no, as mobilizer. That's also one of our enhancements, no, because one cause of delay in some areas is the um, lack of mobilizers, no, whether NGOs or CSOs that have the expertise to assist them, no, so that can also cause delays. Now, in such cases, okay, SHFC itself may now come in, no, and really assist our communities, no. So we have this step zero, and then we go to and then up to step 7, no, where we release the check payment to the landowner. And also now we will be conducting our various investigations, no, simultaneously, no. Before it was a bit sequential, no. So now we will be doing them all at the same time, so that can also streamline the process. Next slide, please. Okay, so of the 34 projects that we committed to the secretary, okay, these were really projects that were put aside before, or set aside before, no, when we suspended the CMP, but now we have revived them. We have revived these 34 on-site projects, and from July we have approved 12 projects, no, and this will benefit over 2,000 families. By the way, the 34 projects will benefit over 7,000 families, no. So with the 12 approved projects, we have achieved, no, 30%. No, we now have covered 30% of our targeted beneficiaries, no. So 2,000 out to 2,247, okay, over 700, more than 7,000 that we targeted or committed for approval, okay, this year, no. We hope that by October we will already start awarding, okay, these various projects, no, by October, okay. So these 12 projects require the total loan amount for land purchase of over 200 million. The funding will come, of course, from the escrow funds, no, as directed by the secretary. And of these 12, okay, 7 are in Luzon, 4 are in the NCR, and 1 in the Visayas. But out of the 34, okay, these 34 on-site projects are evenly distributed throughout the country, no? All right. Next slide, please. Okay, these are some of the projects that we have approved so far. We have one in Albay, okay. We have one in Pampanga. Okay, we have 3 in Albay, no, 2 in Pampanga, and other projects in Luzon, no. Next slide, please. Okay. The next slide are more in Metro Manila and close to Metro Manila, no, such as Rizal, no. So we have in Valenzuela, Pasig, Rizal, and also some in the Visayas, no. Okay. Next slide, please. So those are the 12 projects that we have approved so far, and this will benefit over 2,000 families, or 30% of what we targeted for 2025. And I would claim that we have been quite fast, no? Because the CMP was revived only in July, no? And yet we have now accomplished 30% of what we committed, no, to accomplish for 2025. Thank you, everyone.